The anthem itself, an interesting story. That was a recording, and that was the voice of Wayne Messmer, who is the public address announcer here at Wrigley Field. But for some of you who didn't know the story, he was shot after doing a ball game at Chicago Stadium this winter. And the bullet lodged just a centimeter from his vocal cords, and Wayne was laid up for quite a while. He made an appearance here at the ballpark Monday and is doing much better. He can speak now. He hasn't begun to sing yet, but he hopes that he will by the end of the summer. And it was great to see Wayne, and I know he'll be welcome back to the ballpark when he is able to resume his duties here. But that was a great recording that he was featured on today. Now Jim Fregosi making his way to the home plate area for the lineup presentation. And as we mentioned earlier, we're going to have Frank Pulley at the plate today, and Teak pitchers love Mr. Pulley.
Well, Frank is known to have a wide strike zone. A pitcher's type umpire. There are pitchers umpires and hitters umpires. Frank definitely a pitcher's umpire, and you know, when you put that combination together of Frank being behind the plate today, being generous with that strike zone, also the fact that the wind's blowing in, should look for a low scoring ball game.
And Frank will accept the lineup cards, and we'll be underway here shortly. The series is tied 1 game apiece after the Cubs took to the opener here on Monday 3-0 in that combined 1-hit shutout for Willie Banks and Randy Myers. But the Phillies came right back last night to beat Randy Myers, getting some big hits off him, primarily that one by Duncan and the other by Jim Eisenreich, and as I say, made a loser of Myers. Well, we mentioned earlier that Wes Chamberlain, of course, has been traded to the Boston Red Sox. Russ was up in the ball game as a pinch hitter last night. His very last at bat as a Philly turns out to be a pinch hit strikeout facing Myers, and there's a shot of Wes in the dugout. But he is now a member of the Boston Red Sox, and Wes had a flight out of here this morning, and he's going to be eligible to play for the Red Sox today. There's a look at the entire trade. The Phillies, of course, wanting very much to acquire some pitching help. Paul Quantrill, very important part of the deal for the Phillies, and for that matter, so is Billy Hatcher, who of course will take Chamberlain's spot.
Yeah, Quantrill's going to fit in very nicely with the Phillies' needs. A very versatile pitcher, can do a little bit of everything. A young guy, 25 years old, a hard thrower, so should fit nicely and help Jim Fregosi out in that beleaguered pitching staff.
Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup today. Leading off, the center fielder Lenny Dykstra, batting second, shortstop Mariano Duncan, batting third, and right field Tony Longmire, batting cleanup in left field Pete Incaviglia, batting fifth, first baseman Ricky Jordan, batting sixth, the second baseman Mickey Morandini, batting seventh, the catcher Todd Pratt, batting eighth, third baseman Tom Quinlan, batting ninth, pitcher Sean Bosky.
Defensively for Tom Troublehorn's Chicago Cubs, Mark Grace is at first base. Ryan Sandberg is the second baseman. Sean Dunston is the shortstop, and Steve Buechele plays third. Derek May is in left field with Tuffy Rhodes in center, and the 2-home run man from last night, Sammy Sosa, in right. Rick Wilkins again doing the catching for the Cubs, and on the mound, 6'2", 220-pound right-hander Mike Morgan. Morgan's off to just a horrendous start this year, 0-6 and a very lofty 8.35 earned run average. And not only has Morgan started poorly in '94 for the Cubs, but he has also spent a stint on the DL with right elbow inflammation, and that's bad news for anybody, but especially a sinker slider pitcher who puts a lot of stress on that part of his arm. He's a former #1 draft choice of Charlie Finley in the Oakland A's, and he has had a lot of success against the Phillies in the past with a lifetime record of 7-3. And a lifetime ERA versus the Phils of 2.55. As I mentioned, a 3-pitch pitcher. He throws a sinker and a slider primarily. Also does have a 4-seam fastball that he will mix in. But if Morgan is on, you're going to see a lot of ground balls. If you're seeing line drives and fly balls off of Morgan early, indications are that the problems he's had early in the season are going to continue.
He has one of the most interesting records in baseball, in that he is a veteran pitcher who is 40 games under 500. 40. He's won 93 and lost 133 in his career. You got to have some still untapped potential to stick around that long and have a record like that. Here's Lenny Dykstra batting at .313. Lenny still leads the league in runs scored. His next one will be his 50th. Pitch is in for a strike, says Frank. 64 degrees at game time today here at Wrigley Field.
A bit nippy.
Indeed, and the wind blowing from right to left. It's blowing in, basically. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dykstra with 5 homers, 17 RBIs. Lenny with 1 hit and 9 at-bats in this series. Lenny has 15 lifetime home runs against Chicago, his most against any team. It's high, 2 balls and a strike.
You mentioned the wind blowing in almost directly from right field now. Earlier in the day, it was blowing directly in from center field. So, as always in Wrigley Field, you have to keep your eye on the flags.
Morgan missed again. It's 3 balls and a strike. Mike Morgan making his 8th start today, and he's given up 49 hits in 32 1/3 innings. Batters are hitting .360 off Morgan.
49 hits, 15 walks. That's 64 base runners in 32 innings, averaging 2 base runners per inning. That's why the 8+ earned run average.
3-2 pitch, high, ball 4. Lenny leads the league in walks as well. That's his 42nd. Just going to remark that Morgan's pitching a lot out of the stretch, and he'll be doing that right here.
It's the way you like to see it.
Well, here's Mariano Duncan. He told us on that pregame interview that he got his neck stepped on last night. It was actually the knee of Wilkins that hit him in the neck, and right after it occurred, he didn't think he'd be able to play, but says it feels pretty good today. So here is Mariano Duncan stepping in. Dunk at .284 with 6 homers, 35 runs batted in.
You have to remember, a day game after a night game, a short night's rest, not a whole lot of time for these players to recover physically from just having played a ball game, but in Duncan's case, also having to recover from taking that shot from Wilkins in the head.
Lenny Dykstra has stolen 10 bases. He's been caught 3 times, and there he goes, and the ball has bounced through the hole. Dykstra is going to make it to third base. So the Phillies start Dykstra right away, and Dunk takes advantage of it, bouncing a soft one through the left side hole.
The hit and run worked to perfection. Dykstra off and running. Sean Dunstan's covering. Not hit very hard, but with Dunstan vacating the hole, ball dribbles into left field and hits so softly, even though the ball has hit the short field, left field with the short throw, Dykstra easily goes around the third.
Early opportunity for Tony Longmire. Here he is in the number 3 hole, and it's first and third, nobody out. Takes a strike. Tony batting .184, but he's hit .313 over his last 11 ball games. He's 5 for his last 16 as he stands up there. Swings through a Morgan sinker. No balls and 2 strikes on Longmire. Tony and Wes were good friends. Sure, Tony was sorry to see Chamberlain go.
But the move of Chamberlain has afforded Longmire a chance to get some playing time that he had not got previously.
In the air to left center field. On the run is Derek May to make the catch. Dykstra tagging at third, scores easily. Phillies lead 1-0 on a sacrifice fly by Longmire. I think the wind helped that one a little bit, Teak.
Well, Tony down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, does a nice job of getting the bat on the ball, getting it in the air with the man on third base and nobody out. Fly ball to left. Chases May back. Dykstra scores easily.
It was something the Phillies had trouble with last night. There were 4 instances where the Phillies had a runner at third base with less than 2 outs, and they failed to get him in. In one instance, they later got him in after there were 2 out. But you talk about that automatic RBI, it's not always automatic. The hitter is Pete Incaviglia, batting .257, 9 homers, 20 runs batted in. Duncan remained at first. So another run for Lenny, his 50th of the year. Fouled away by Incaviglia. Inky with the Phillies' first pinch hit home run of the year. That came on the Phillies' last road trip in St. Louis. He was on a tear. He had home runs in 4 consecutive ball games. Duncan is safe. Mark Gray, slick fielding first baseman, holding Mariano Duncan. 1 ball, 1 strike on Incaviglia. Gets the cleanup hole today off Morgan.
Interesting with the wind again now blowing directly in. Derek May playing very deep in left field against Incaviglia, which leaves a lot of room between himself and the infielders for balls to fall in front of you. Very hard to drive a ball out of this ballpark into that wind.
Called strike. Mike Morgan has been with Oakland. He's been with the Yankees, with Toronto, Seattle, Baltimore, Los Angeles, and now the Cubs. That's well traveled for 34 years of age. It bounces up there. Chest blocked by Wilkins. It's 2-2 on Incaviglia. Rick Wilkins has caught every game in this series. The Cubs' backup catcher this year is Mark Parent. He's also a guy who's been around. Duncan chased back. Two and two on Incaviglia. Ricky Jordan on deck. Outside, Morgan making a lot of pitches already, and there's only 1 out in the first. Cubs need some innings out of Morgan today. They just brought Kevin Foster to the major leagues, the ex-Phil, but he's going to be a starter on Friday, so he wouldn't be in the bullpen. There goes Duncan, and a base hit for Incaviglia. Duncan's going to first to third it. With the high grass here at Wrigley, you can take that extra base, and the Phillies have done that twice in the inning now.
As mentioned, Derek May playing deep in left field. That ground ball goes through the left side. By the time he's able to track it down in that heavy grass as it slows down, Duncan came around second and just took one look, knew he had plenty of time to see May come. May starts from way back deep, and by the time he gets to this ball, he has absolutely no chance to get Duncan at third base. You know, normally on ground balls to left field, you think you should have at least some kind of a chance at third base. It's a short throw. Right field, a different story, but May, playing as deep as he is, has no chance to make that play.
Ricky Jordan is the hitter. He hits one to the right side for a base hit. Duncan scores, and Incaviglia's going to first to third. Maybe. Look out. That ball hit Inky. Inky is hurt. Boa calls time. The throw coming in from right fielder Sosa nailed Incaviglia. Phillies lead 2-0.
Sammy Sosa, with one of the strongest throwing arms in the league, unloads a bullet right here, and it looks like it catches Incaviglia right in the neck just as he's going down the slide.
Ouch.
That helmet protects the whole backside, so not only does Incaviglia get hit with the ball in the back of the neck, but then he also gets tangled up with Steve Buechele over at third base. Actually, a perfect throw by Sosa, right on the money, but he just caught Incaviglia right below that helmet. Now, the batting helmets are extended in the back. The old style cap type helmet did not come down. The newer style helmets do come down and cover most of the back of the head, but that ball just below the helmet catches Incaviglia in the back of the neck. And as I mentioned, he also got tied up with Buechele over there, so after he got hit in the neck, then he got flipped over with the collision with Buechele.
Take one more look at it. Looks like Pete's going to be okay.
Sosa barehands it, comes up and throws. Boom, right in the back of the neck. And you know, as Buechele is reaching to try to catch the ball, he actually takes the helmet off the top of Incaviglia's head. So not an altogether great play for Incaviglia, but he's safe at third.
I was just going to say, it was fortunate that he landed on the bag, because had that play developed otherwise, he might have been tagged out.
Yeah, he was a little bit dazed when he got there, rightfully or understandably so.
Phillies lead at 2-0. There's still only 1 out of the inning, and it's still first and third. Phillies have played the whole inning first and third. The batter is Morandini, hitting at .269. Ball bounces away from Wilkins. Here comes Incaviglia. 3-0 Phillies. A wild pitch for Morgan.
Mike Morgan's struggles continue here in the first inning. Wilkins usually pretty good at blocking balls. This one, a curveball bounces way out in front of him. He gets in front of it, but not able to keep it on the ground in front of him, hits off his side and bounces over toward the Philly on deck circle. By the time he gets there, Incaviglia already across the plate.
So the Phillies pick up right where they left off last night. 3 balls and no strikes on Morandini. Tom Troublehorn knows his team is already in trouble here today.
Looking for options. Not good when you have to do that in the first inning.
Walked him. Morgan with his second walk of the inning. And here comes Troublehorn out of the dugout. A worried skipper heading to the mound right now, knowing that his pitcher has had all kinds of problems this year, both physical and otherwise.
Dave Otto up in the Cubs bullpen. This is not where Tom Troublehorn wants to be right now. Morgan so far in this inning, the only batter he's retired is Tony Longmire, and that outproduced a run, a sacrifice fly to left field. 2 walks and 3 singles. 2 of them through the hole between third and short, and Ricky Jordan's into short right field.
Morgan now will face Todd Pratt, filling in for Darren Dalton today. Pratt at 167, yet to drive in a run this year. It's first and second with 1 out. 3-0 Phillies. Pratt takes a strike. Only the 7th start for Pratt. Darren Dalton does the great bulk of the catching. Darren with a 2-run home run last night. 1 ball, 1 strike on Pratt. Quinlan on deck. Pratty, one of the most likable guys on the team. Strike, snap throw to first. Back in time is Morandini. Wilkins has a good arm. So it's 1-2 on Pratt. Two and two. Mike Morgan was one of those pitchers who came right to the major leagues. He lost his first 9 major league starts, all coming before he was 20 years of age. He's 34 now. Those were the days with the Oakland A's. It's low. Well, now the Phillies can start the runners if they want. It's a 3-2 count. You think they might, Teak?
Well, Pratt with not real good foot speed. We talked about Morgan and the sinking fastball. Would be a good time. You already got 3. Try to push a little bit. Get the runners in motion.
They're going. And the ball is rolled on the right side, but this time Sandberg is there to make the play. Pratt grounds out. Jordan to third. Morandini to second.
But by having the runners in motion, that would have been a double play ball to Ryan Sandberg. Todd Pratt hit. Saves the Phillies and out. Gives Tom Quinlan a chance here with 2 outs and 2 men in scoring position to take a swing if Tom Troublehorn allows this to happen. Of course, he's got the pitcher Sean Bosky on deck. So Morgan with the open base, the number 8 hole hitter in there, already struggling in the first inning with 3 runs in.
Quinlan's got a swing and a strike here, and he gets one. Quinlan hitting .292. He had a big home run Sunday, his first in the National League, first in the majors for that matter, off Doug Drabek. Picked a pretty good victim.
If you're going to get one off somebody that's hot. Drabek definitely that.
Strike 2. Quinlan's a good fielding third baseman. He's made every play since the Phillies brought him up. And getting a chance to play, of course, because of the absence of Dave Hollins. And incidentally, Kim Batiste jammed a finger today, and actually in the game last night, and Batiste is unable to play this afternoon. So who's the Phillies' backup infielder today? We're told it's Milt Thompson, who has never played the infield. That's why I shuddered so much when I saw that play at third base when Inky went in there, you know, because the Phillies are short-handed today. The 2 players acquired in trade from Boston have not arrived. Chamberlain, of course, is gone. Now, Larry Anderson is not here today. He had some family leave time coming and took it. mentioned that Batiste can't play, so I imagine Jim Fregosi is going to be strapped to the bench today. Not too many moves Jimmy can make.
Well, when you're in a situation like that, the best thing to do is score runs and score a lot of them early. The Phillies off to a good start here with 3 in the top of the first. Tommy Quinlan with a chance to add a little more. A 5 spot in the first inning would look wonderful. 3's not bad, but 5's even better.
Really. It's 2-2 on Quinlan. It's a full count. Still, they have the base open because Bosky's coming up next. Bosky 1 for 12, so.
And if he can't get that weight off his bat, it's going to become real difficult to hit.
Better get another bat, Sean. Quinlan rolls it on the right side, scooped up by Grace. He'll make the play, and that takes care of the inning. But it's a good start for the Phillies as they come up with 3 runs on 3 hits, leave 2 aboard. At the end of the half inning, Phillies 3, Cubs coming up.
I see it all out here.
Whoa, check out the Ranger.
Climbers get in trouble. Sometimes they need help. Hey, it can happen to anyone.
Are you okay?
You'll have to swing over to me. For all you do.
Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic.
Proud to be your buddy.
Only TWA takes you to some of Europe's most exciting cities for some of the lowest prices around. With so many daily nonstop flights, it's never been easier or more convenient to get to the heart of Europe. Which is good news, considering how much Europe there is to see. In fact, with so many flights to so many destinations, you might say that TWA's put Europe at your feet.
It's hard to top this one. A free cap featuring the championship logo. Compliments of Texaco. For men 15 and over when the Phillies play the Cardinals Sunday, June 12th at 8:05. Call 463-1000.
Here's the Cubs lineup today. Leading off their center fielder Tuffy Rhodes, batting second Sean Dunston, batting third Ryne Sandberg. Then comes first baseman Mark Grace. Next is Derek May, the left fielder, Sammy Sosa, the right fielder, Rick Wilkins, the catcher, Steve Buechele, third baseman, and pitcher Mike Morgan. 3-0 Phillies as we go to the Cubs first.
Defensive leader for the Phillies this afternoon, Ricky Jordan at first, Mickey Morandini at second, Mariano Duncan is the shortstop, and Tom Quinlan at third. Pete Incaviglia in left with Lenny Dykstra in center. Tony Longmire gets a start today in right field. Todd Pratt is behind the plate, and 27-year-old right-hander Sean Bosky on the mound for the Phillies.
John started the season wearing a Cub uniform. They used him a couple of times in relief before the trade occurred. John was telling me that he has no family here in Chicago, but he said a lot of friends here, and it is a kind of a big deal to come back and pitch here. Of course, he's looking forward to showing the Cubs they made a mistake by trading him. Well, Rhodes had 2 hits in last night's ball game. He went 2 for 5, but coming in he was 1 for 26. He shows bunt a lot, and he's ahead in the count 3-0. Third game of a 4-game series. It concludes tomorrow night when Danny Jackson faces Anthony Young. Ball 4. Rhodes draws a walk, and that's not what you want to see from a hurler whose team has just given him a 3-0 lead.
Jim Fregosi looks on. Dennis Menke, Johnny Padres.
Control basically has not been a problem for Bosky. He has walked 13 in 42 and 47 and 2/3 innings. Sean Dunston, the shortstop, hitting at .234, but Dunston is a .300 hitter over the last 18 ball games.
Bosky gets the first one in for a strike, and you don't want to make excuses for a guy because you don't really need him. But Sean Bosky, after he warmed up before the ball game, did sit for quite a while when the Phillies went through that long first inning. So, may have stiffened up just a little bit. Still should be able to get ready by the time the game starts.
Pop foul, back out of play. Yeah, it's a chilly day here. I mean, it's 64 degrees. It was 81 at game time last night, so what a difference. Jose Guzman of the Cubs underwent arthroscopic surgery this morning at Northwestern Hospital here in Chicago. The surgery was to correct a chronic impingement of Guzman's right shoulder, and they say that the condition, how do they put it here, the prognosis for Guzman's pitching during the rest of the '94 season is guarded.
That does not sound optimistic.
No, really.
Bosky jumps out in front of Dunston. No balls and 2 strikes. Went up high in the strike zone. Once you get ahead of Dunston, you don't want to throw him too many strikes. He's liable to swing at anything.
He will. Here's a ball for Dykstra. Lenny out into right center. Puts it away for the first out of the inning. Dunston retired with Rhodes returning to first, and now Ryne Sandberg will bat. Sandberg has hit safely in 12 of the last 13. His average for the year is .262. 4 homers, 22 RBIs. Sandberg a perennial Gold Glove winner, but he has not won it either of the last 2 years.
Well, there are those that say that Ryne Sandberg has lost a step in each direction, which he probably has, but what he gets to, he handles as well as anybody.
Takes a strike. Sandberg over the years has had some big hits off Phil's pitching. Sandberg is a .294 lifetime hitter against the Phillies. 26 home runs and 99 runs batted in. He's had a career against the Phillies. Career year.
He's had a career period. Good player.
He sure is. Pitches inside a ball. And when he won the Gold Glove in '83, he became the first player ever to win the Gold Glove in his first year at a new position. If you recall, he was not a second baseman prior to that. He was a third baseman and shortstop for that matter. But the Cubs were using him at third, switched him to second, and in his very first year at the second sack, he won that Gold Glove.
He adjusted nicely.
Well, I guess. A bouncer, too softly hit to get 2. And Duncan gets the out at first with Rhodes advancing to second. Nice play by Duncan. 2 outs.
The infield grass at Wrigley very high. You have to come and charge the ball. Mariano does a nice job of getting off quickly, getting a strong throw over to first base. Not the easiest play. On AstroTurf, that's a very easy play. But here at Wrigley Field with the high infield grass, you've got to be aggressive and go get the ball. Mariano did a nice job of it.
Mark Grace hitting at .311 with a homer, 21 RBIs. He and the cleanup hole seem to agree with one another. He's been in it now since May 13th, over 17 ball games, during which he's hit .385 with 11 runs batted in. And that seemed to coincide with about the time the Cubs started playing good ball. It's hard to conceive of this team losing 12 in a row here at Wrigley Field. This ballpark so much an advantage to this team because the team is built for its conditions here. It's not surprising when the Cubs don't play good ball on the road, because it takes 2 different types of baseball to win at Wrigley and to win on the road. In his first year as the skipper here, Tom Troublehorn had previously spent 6 years as manager in Milwaukee and had been a coach here the last couple of years. At second base, Rhodes, there are 2 outs. Think Mark Grace is going to vie for a batting title one of these years?
He's got that kind of swing. You know, he's kind of not a typical number 4 hitter. Doesn't have the kind of power. Only the 1 home run this year. But he drives in most of his runs with the base hits. .311 average coming in today. Good consistent hitter. Covers the whole plate. Is willing to go the opposite way on the ball away from him.
Freddie sets up outside. The pitch is outside, and as a result, Grace throws his bat at it.
Bosky fields the bat.
For his ex-teammate, Grace is one of the most likable guys around, and nobody doesn't like Mark Grace.
Think he's fired up about this start at all?
Oh, I'll bet.
Fielding bats.
Grace hits it hard. Oh, and Jordan can't play it. Cubs are going to get a run out of this. That's a bad break. Grace is on his way to second. It is a 3-1 game. Well, it was a shot, but it was right at Ricky.
Yeah, Grace hits the ball hard. Ricky in position to make the play. Just didn't get the glove down in time. The ball actually kicks off of his left ankle and goes over against the tarp in the Phillies bullpen. By the time Ricky's able to run it down, not able to get the throw to second in time. Grace hustling in there. Remember last night's ball game, Ricky stumbled around first base and twisted his ankle last night. Now he gets a ball ricocheted off of it, so he's slowed a little bit.
Well, it's scored as a hit, so that's an RBI double for Grace.
Oh, is that generous?
I think so too.
I mean, it was well hit, but it was not a clean base hit by any stretch of the imagination. A ball that Ricky Jordan will tell you he should have caught.
Derek May loops one foul out of play. May had a big ball game here Monday when he had 3 hits, and he's a guy that's kind of been a thorn in the side of the Phillies. May chasing one out of the strike zone. It's 1-2 on Derek. May had 338, and they've just changed the scoring on that, Teak. They're going to give him an RBI, but it's an error.
How can you do that?
Well, that's right. You can't do that, can you? Because there were 2 outs. That can't be correct. We'll have to double check that. At any rate, May strikes out to win the inning, but the Cubs pick up a run on no hits, I guess. 1 error and 1 man left on base. It's 3-1 Phillies.
It comes specially equipped with dual airbags, cruise control, air conditioning, 4-speaker AM/FM cassette stereo, and power accessories like luxury sedans costing twice the money. The 1994 Nissan Altima GXE. It not only defines what a luxury car should be, it redefines what a luxury car should cost. Lease the Altima for just $750 down and $229 a month for 36 months.
Now, over time, cars that can benefit from higher octane can benefit from new Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium gasolines. 2 choices with an advanced system of engine cleaning that works over time for the highest performance, lower emissions, and improved mileage, changing what gasoline can do. New Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium from Texaco. Give us 60 days and watch what can happen.
Falling in love again. What am I to do? Whenever I see you, I can't help it. In love again. Oh, what am I to do?
At Pizza Hut, now that any medium specialty pizza is only $7.99 and any second medium just $5, it's a great time to fall in love again with Pizza Hut. You can't help it.
Sunday, June 12th, the Phillies meet the Cardinals at 8:05. All men 15 and over get a free blue baseball cap with the Phillies '93 championship logo on the front, compliments of Texaco. Perfect for a Father's Day gift. Here's Sean Bosky grounding out to second base on the first pitch of the inning. Phillies lead the game 3-1. We're in the top of the second. So Bosky is retired as Morgan gets an easy out. And now back to the top of the lineup. Dykstra walked and scored in the first inning. In his career, Dykstra hitting .370 off Morgan, 10 hits, 37 at bats. Ground ball hit to Sandberg. And 2 outs. All that trouble that Morgan had in the first inning, here he's made, what, 3 pitches and has 2 outs. Cento Italian Food Products rooting for the Phillies this season. For every Phillies home run, Cento will donate $200 to the Philadelphia Child Guidance Clinic. Cento has a full line of quality Italian tomatoes, all-purpose crushed tomatoes, tomato puree, and Italian peeled tomatoes. Mariano Duncan got a hit-and-run single and scored in the first. Going to make Morgan work a little bit here. Out of play. 2 balls and a strike on Duncan. Last year, Mariano hit .469 against the Cubs. That was tops on the Phillies team against Chicago a year ago. Two and two.
Morgan so far this afternoon pretty much trying to stay away from all the Philly right-handed hitters.
Full count.
Runs the count full now, but you know, he hasn't shown the desire to pitch on the inside part of the plate right now. Philly hitters will watch that, and if he continues to do that, we'll start leaning out over the plate.
A jam job pop-up. It's foul. Wilkins is over, but he won't have room. It's about 4 rows back.
And just as soon as I mentioned that he had not pitched on the inside part of the plate, he throws one up and into Dunk. I don't know about those people in the short sleeves down there.
The only thing you can possibly suspect is, and we do know it for a fact, it's a little nicer in the sunshine, but it is not warm by any means. I think people were dressing on yesterday's weather. There's a ball hit in the air to right field. Getting over is Sosa, but that ball is out of play.
Wrigley Field is called the friendly confines, and it's a friendly confines for the hitters. The field, very little foul territory, especially when you get down in the corners in right and left field. Absolutely no foul territory.
Duncan draws a walk, and if I'm not mistaken, that particular walk ties the number of walks he had all of last year.
I believe you are correct.
Tony Longmire got a sacrifice fly run batted in first time up. The always smiling Mariano.
Mariano with his 12th walk so far this season, 12 last year. The 1st of June.
Tony takes a strike. Phillies lead it 3-1, second inning. That was a great come from behind win for the Phillies last night. It's a ball game when you trail 7-1, you think could be a long night. Out of play.
Especially after the way the game went on Monday with the one hitter, nothing at all generated. A blowout win last night by the Cubs could have been a real downer for the Phillies, but able to come back now, it turns it into a positive.
Longmire strikes out. Morgan gets his first strikeout of the ball game. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, no hits, 1 left. We go to the last of the second. 3-1 Phillies.
Come see the Phillies take on Ryne Sandberg and the Cubs Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, June 6th, 7th, and 8th, all at 7:35, followed by the Cardinals. Thursday and Friday, June 9th and 10th at 7:35, Saturday the 11th at 7:05, and a special Sunday night at 8:05 when men 15 and over get a free cap featuring the '93 championship logo, compliments of Texaco. The Cubs and the Cards capped off with a free hat. For tickets, call 463-1000.
Ford dealers know some problems can't be diagnosed in the shop, so they have a unique traveling companion, the Portable Vehicle Analyzer. It records engine data in ways no human eyes and ears can. Then it tells us what's wrong
so it can be serviced right the first time. Quality care, where the quality continues.
For service, see your Quality Plus Ford dealer. And while you're there, test drive the new Ford Windstar.
There's a new kind of energy around here. A company that can meet your energy needs well into the next century without building even one new plant, which means no large increase in the cost of your service. A company whose oil-fired generators will also run on natural gas. Another way to help keep your bill down. There's a new energy company around here and a new name. Pico Energy, focusing our energies on you.
Imagine taking the field with Greg Luzinski, Tony Taylor, Del Unser, Larry Boa, Dave Cash, and many more. That's Phillies Dream Week in Clearwater, and you can live, play, and laugh alongside the greatest stars in Phillies history. For details, call 215-938-1200. That's 215-938-1200 for Phillies Dream Week.
Here's Sammy Sosa to start the Cubs' second inning. Phillies lead the ball game 3-1. Sosa hitting at .276. John Bosky throwing strikes. He walked one batter today, the leadoff hitter, and it wound up costing him on an unearned run in the first inning. But basically, Bosky does not have trouble throwing strikes.
Mentioned when Sean Dunston was at the plate, you know, if you get ahead of him, he will swing at almost anything. Sammy Sosa in the same mold. Once you get out in front, you don't particularly have to throw a whole lot of strikes. Sosa will swing the bat.
He is a hacker. In fact, the Cubs, of course, were impressed with his numbers last year, and he's not a good what you call situation hitter. So
he doesn't understand what situation means.
So this year they've just decided to let Sammy be Sammy. I guess that's a good way to put it. Sweet swinging Billy Williams.
Now he was a situation hitter.
You bet. And he's the hitting coach here. Sosa strikes out. Second strikeout for Bosky. Catcher Rick Wilkins coming up now. Left-handed batting catcher hitting at .228. Here's a guy that strikes out a lot too. He's fanned 50 times this year. Fourth highest total in the league. Bud Wilkins packed some power. He was a 30 home run guy last year. Kind of amazing because that's not something that you associate with catchers. Catchers who have had 30 home runs and batted .300, which he also did last year. There have only been a handful. Gabby Hartnett did it. Walker Cooper did it. Roy Campanella did it 3 times. Joe Torre did it once, and Mike Piazza did it last year. And then you add Wilkins' name. This year, though, Wilkins at .228 right now. And here's a ground ball to Morandini. The grass really slows a grounder here. Wilkins is out, 2 down. Well, Steve Buechele came into the series not hitting a whole lot, but he had 2 hits last night, including a home run, and he also had a double in the Monday ball game. So maybe Buechele is starting to come out of it. He's just 5 for his last 32, though, over 9 games. Cubs had Bosky in the bullpen when the season began. The trade was Bosky for Kevin Foster, and Foster was sent to the minors, but now he's been brought up and will start for the Cubs on Friday.
2 outs, and Buechele, the number 8 hitter at the plate. John Bosky would like to get him out, save Mike Morgan to lead off the next inning. Always like to have those innings when the pitcher is the leadoff hitter.
Kind of like a 2-out inning, huh?
Exactly. Especially with a guy like Mike Morgan, notorious as not being a real good hitter. So, like to finish off Buechele right here. He does.
He does indeed, with his 3rd strikeout, and down go the Cubs in order. So at the end of 2 today, the Phillies lead Chicago 3-1.
didn't reinvent the wheel, just everything around it. In the all-new Ford Windstar minivan at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. It has 95 advantages over the Dodge Grand Caravan, like standard 5-mile-per-hour bumpers, like standard anti-lock brakes, like more passenger and cargo room, and a lower step-in height. And that's just 4 of the 95 advantages over Caravan. The 95 Windstar, it's simply a better minivan at your Quality Plus Ford dealer. Test drive a Ford Windstar today and receive a Nolan Ryan replica baseball. The freshest potatoes, pure filtered vegetable oil. Hers, it's the way they're made.
Mark your calendar for the ever-popular photo night, courtesy of Kodak, when the Phillies battle the Braves, Saturday, June 25th at 7:05. Got the picture? For tickets, call 463-1000.
We go to the third inning with the Phillies leading Chicago 3-1. Pete Incaviglia is the leadoff hitter, and he had a single in the midst of the Phillies' 3-run rally in the first. Incaviglia occupying the cleanup hole for the Phils today. 1 ball and 1 strike on Pete. He'll be followed by Jordan and Morandini here in the third. Morgan starting to get a little more command than he had earlier. Seemed like the Philly hitters were right on everything he threw in the first inning, and now he's starting to get some swings and misses here and there.
Well, in the first inning, it was consistently falling behind in the count. The Phillies didn't have to swing the bat. Now he's getting the ball over early, forcing the Phillies to swing the bat. As you mentioned, though, still not showing a whole lot of desire to throw the ball on the inside part of the plate. Of course, with Incaviglia, that's a pretty good idea. Don't let the big guy get those arms extended and get the big part of the bat on the ball. Keep him reaching just a little bit further than that. Wilkins way off the plate.
2-2 on Pete. Incaviglia is 5 for 8 in his career off Morgan. He went. That's a strikeout. Pete tried to check at the last moment but was unable to do so. Morgan gets his second strikeout.
Morgan with a good sharp breaking ball throws it down below the strike zone. Incaviglia tries to hold up, can't do it. Wilkins applies a tag.
These Cubs are heading for Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia. It starts Monday the 6th for a 3-night game series, all at 7:35. And the Cardinals follow beginning Thursday, June 9th. They are all night games too, including Sunday the 12th on men's cap night. Call 463-1000 for your tickets. Ricky Jordan has an RBI single in today's game. Foul back to a sparsely populated upper deck. This is the lowest turnout of the 3 games so far. The biggest turnout was for the Monday game. Morgan strikes out Jordan. He's got 3 straight strikeouts now. He got Longmire to end the second, and now Incaviglia and Jordan to begin the third.
Well, what Mike Morgan has accomplished is getting the Phillies to swing at balls out of the strike zone. This one again down and away out of the strike zone. Ricky tries to reach out, can't quite come up with it. Phillies have to be disciplined and make sure that they get Morgan to throw that pitch in the strike zone so that they can handle it.
Morandini walked first time up. He grounds a foul. Mickey's been a hot hitter. 11 of the last 12 ball games he's gotten a hit. One. Morandini gives it a ride to right field. Off the ivy. Mickey going to second. He's got a double. On many a day, that ball would have left this yard.
Most definitely. The wind blowing directly in from right field. Mickey hits this one through it. Stays down and gets good extension through the ball. Got one of those pitches in the strike zone, thigh high in the middle of the plate. Sosa goes back. He's playing a little shallow because the wind's blowing in. Does a nice job of playing the ball off the wall and comes up with it. But Morandini hits that ball high off the ivy in right field. And today, with the conditions being what they are at Wrigley Field, that is a shot.
Here's Todd Pratt. Takes a called strike. Pratt grounded out to second in his only at bat today. Well, the Phillies would like to get that run back that they gave up, that unearned run. And Pratt, he's still looking for his first run batted in of the year. He hits out of the hole here, 0-2. Just a bit high.
Darren Dalton gets the day off today. Sitting down in the dugout observing.
Ground ball hit to Buechele, who is a slick fielder. And his throw goes over to first in time for the out. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, a hit, and one left. It's 3-1 Phillies.
The Braves are coming. Friday, June 24th at 7:35. Saturday, June 25th at 7:05 for Kodak Photo Night. And Sunday, June 26th at 1:35, when kids 14 and under get a free photo pack with pictures of Phillies players, compliments of Mel and PSFS. June is jumping with a pitching powerful Braves. Photo night and a free photo pack. Get your tickets now. Call 463-1000.
There's a new kind of energy around here. An energy company that's doing everything it can to help protect your air and your rivers. In fact, it's one of the few in the country that already exceeds those tough new clean air standards and won't have to spend a lot of money on new equipment to help preserve your environment. They planned ahead. There's a new energy company around here and a new name. Pico Energy, focusing our energies on you.
Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream.
Hey guys, on me. Boy, other than the Holyfield, some nice guy.
Yeah, a real humanitarian.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel, brought to you in part by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. The Yellow Pages, 9 out of 10 people use the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Dodge, a winning team, the championship Phillies, and the award-winning lineup of new cars and trucks at your local Dodge dealer. Bottom of the third, 3-1 Phillies. Pitcher Mike Morgan getting his first at-bat. Interesting note on Morgan as a hitter. In 332 lifetime at-bats in the big leagues, he has 2 extra base hits. So he chips in a single once in a while, but that's about it. Duncan picks up the ground ball and throws out Morgan, 1 down here in the third. Cubs have a run without benefit of a hit.
Sean Bosky now gets the benefit of having retired Buechele in the second inning for the third out. Morgan out of the way. Now he gets to face the top of the lineup, but only has to get 2 outs this time. Last time in the first inning had to get 3. Rhodes got on the walk and eventually came around on the error by Ricky Jordan on the ground ball by Mark Grace. So we're looking at the potential 2-out inning right now.
People have been getting Rhodes out. He came into last night's game 1 for 26. He did go 2 for 5 last night. Rhodes had that tremendous opening day this year when he hit 3 consecutive home runs against Doc Gooden. Fly ball to center, but Dykstra has room to get it. Tuffy is out number 2. It's going to play like a big ballpark here today.
Yeah, this is a real ballpark today. Days when the wind's blowing out, it can become a very small ballpark.
Bases empty, 2 away for the Cubs shortstop Sean Dunston. And Teak, it's great to see that he's recovered from all those back problems that sidelined him virtually all of 2 years. But he's making all the plays in the field and has looked great in this series.
He really has, and he's moving around very well for a guy that has had that surgery. You think that he might have lost a little, not so much foot speed, but flexibility and his ability to go laterally. But he's made some plays in this series that shows that he's back just about where he was before.
Dunston lines it to left field. Incaviglia there to catch that liner for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Cubs go down in order, and at the end of 3 today, Phillies lead Chicago 3-1.
I finally made it to the big leagues. And my first game, we get the call. And I'm thinking, how lucky can a guy get?
Beechwood aged for that fresh, distinctive taste. Crisp, clean, classic.
It's got a new cover, it's got a new name, but on the inside, it's exactly the same. It's the real fine, genuine, more choices, gold mine, yellow pages from Bell Atlantic.
Presenting the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Same book, new name. 9 out of 10 use it. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
Real fine, genuine, more choices, gold mine, yellow pages from Bell Atlantic.
Same book, new name.
Gonna take to the streets and spend some time on the road. I need a truck that'll take me where I wanna go. I need a Dodge, Dodge. Big Magnum engines, don't take them for granted. Overall, the most powerful line of trucks on the planet, that's Dodge. From America's truck stop, Dodge.
From 4x4s to club cabs, from Magnum V8s to the mighty Cummins Turbo Diesel, they're all at America's Truck Stop, your Dodge dealer.
Phillies baseball day camps for boys and girls 7 to 14 years of age. 15 great locations, plus get a once-in-a-lifetime chance to enjoy a day of fun at the Vet. For more information, call 215-446-3636. That's 215-446-3636.
Okay, Teak, Tom Quinlan leads off for the Phillies as we go to the 4th inning. The Phillies holding a 3-1 lead over the Cubs. Quinlan grounded out to first in his only at bat today. Tough play for Buechele. Boy, he's got a nice accurate arm. He just gives it that little flip, and his accuracy is unbelievable. That was a nice play.
Well, Steve Buechele for years has been noted as one of the outstanding third basemen in the game. Very confident on his play, doesn't rush it at all, knows he has time, just goes back and makes a good strong throw across the infield. Nothing rushed at all about it. The great ones, the great defensive players, have that ability to just relax and let the play flow.
That was very impressive on the part of Buechele. Here's Sean Bosky. Takes a strike. Bosky rolled out to Sandberg first time up. You'd have to really say that Mike Morgan has settled down since that first inning. Phillies had him on the ropes there at the beginning. In fact, Troublehorn was out and they had Otto up in the bullpen, but he's been terrific since then. Kind of wish the Phillies got those 2 extra runs that they left out there.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the difference in Mike Morgan after the first inning was the ability to get out ahead in the count. Expands the strike zone, makes the Phillies hitters swing the bat.
Oh, and throw the bat.
And swing at bad pitches. We've seen, what, 3 of the strikeouts. Yeah, it should be Mark Grace's turn to go get that bat. Bosky fielded one for Grace. Now Steve Buechele does the honors.
Morgan's 4th strikeout of the afternoon. Quickly 2 outs here in the 4th, and Dykstra coming up. Well, Lenny today has walked and grounded out, scoring one of the Phillies' runs. He now has 50 in the run column already, and it's only the 1st of June. And again, Morgan gets up in the count. Dykstra hits it hard back up the middle on a base hit. 22nd hit of the series. He is 2 for 11 in the series now. Hit number 5 for the Phillies this afternoon. Duncan has reached base both times today. Hit and run single and a walk. He scored 1 run. Dunk always seems to be in a hot streak. He had 3 hits, including a pair of doubles last night. He'll take a game or 2 off every now and then, but he generally comes back with a multi-hit game when he does.
Duncan has always been a good hitter. The one thing that he would do was swing at a lot of balls out of the strike zone. We mentioned the walk in the second inning, tying his total from the entire season last year. So he's had the ability to be a little bit more patient without losing a whole lot of the aggressiveness.
Dunston underhands to Sandberg, and they get the force out to win the inning. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. We move to the bottom of the 4th. Phillies ahead 3-1.
Get ready for a dynamite cable combination, Sports Channel and the Phillies. Join Sports Channel all season long for exciting home team baseball action featuring the National League champion Philadelphia Phillies. The fun starts 30 minutes before game time with the Sports Channel Phillies pregame show. And then it's showtime as Dykstra, Dalton, Kruk, and the rest of the Phillies battle the best of the National League. Join Andy Musser and Kent McCulvey for all the excitement of Phillies baseball on Sports Channel, bringing you the best in regional sports.
Hi, I'm Ann LaGroy, host of Sharp Sports Interview. Now, I'm not Moses. I don't control the gale or the moon, but I'm Stern. No, not that Stern. This Stern. You want drivers? I've got drivers. No, not those drivers. These drivers. Not that, Daily. There you go. We accept cash, checks, and bonds. We've got Flojo, Hojo, the Big O, Espo, and PJ. Carlissimo, that is. So let us into your homes. We'll bring the sugar and the wit each week on Sharp Sports Interview.
Retirement? I'm too young to be worried about retiring.
I'm set. I've been socking away a little of my paycheck every month.
The same company for almost 20 years. They'll take care of me.
You bet I got my nest egg covered.
In these uncertain financial times, turn to Nationwide Financial Services for a wide range of investment alternatives, most of which are tax advantaged. Because someday soon, the quality of your life may depend on the quality of your investments.
It's a free photo pack with pictures of Phillies players for kids 14 and under, compliments of Mel and PSFS when the Phils play the Braves Sunday, June 26th at 1:35. Free photos, Big Bad Braves. Call 463-1000.
Phillies on Sports Channel coming up a week from today. The Phillies again against the Cubs, this time at Veterans Stadium. Then on the 15th at Shea Stadium, New York. On the 22nd at Three River Stadium, and on the 27th against the Marlins from Veterans Stadium. Don't forget the pregame show starts 30 minutes prior to the ball game. 3-1 Phillies. Sandberg takes a strike. Sandberg has grounded to short, his only time up. He gets a base hit. Sandberg has hit now in 13 of the last 14 games. That is the first Chicago hit of the game. Here's Mark Grace. He hit a shot to Ricky Jordan his first time up. Originally they scored that a hit. They then changed it to an error. So officially Grace is 0 for 1. Fly ball. Dykstra should get it if Incaviglia doesn't. Lenny calling, so is Pete. Pete calls and Pete takes it. He made a dramatic call to make sure the wind was bringing it back toward Inky. He wanted to make sure that he didn't splatter Dykstra.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's as emphatic a call as I've ever seen. Lenny's coming over. He's yelling and screaming. Don't know if we'll get a look or not. I got it, I got it, I got it. And all of a sudden, Inky had those big arms waving in the air like a big bird out there. Here we go. Now, whoa! That means get out of my way. I got it.
He could have knocked him over with one of those waves.
Yeah, don't get too close.
Derek May sends one foul down the left field line on a play. Well, that's the way to do it, though. Make sure the other guy knows.
That's right.
And Inky did the right thing. I mean, normally you talk about a center fielder taking charge, but on that play, the ball was coming back toward Incaviglia.
The wind blowing in from right just kept pushing that ball farther and farther toward Inky. Took charge.
Sandberg safe. Rhino with 2 stolen bases, but he's been caught 3 times. The Cubs definitely not a running team.
No, the Cubs do not run a whole lot, and with Sandberg at first base, the hole open on the right side for May to try to pull a ball through the ground or ground the ball through the right side. So don't look for the running game to take place here.
The Cubs stolen base leader is Sosa. He has 8, but he's been caught 8 times, and the 8 caught stealings leads the league.
Well, majority of those times when they're running, those are botched hit and run plays. They're not really steals.
That's a foul ball just past the Cub bullpen.
You know, when the hit and run is on and the hitter swings through the pitch, the runner is actually penalized because his job is not to steal second base. His job is just to be in motion. And you know, the hitter swings through the pitch, the catcher throws down there and throws the runner out easily, and then the runner gets credited with a caught stealing when it's really not his fault. The guy that messed up the play was the guy at the plate by not making contact.
Broken back ground ball to Bosky. Makes the play to Duncan. Back to first. Phillies get a double play on a shattered bat at that. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on base, and after 4, it's 3-1 Phillies.
I wasn't even looking when my old boss called. He said he had an opening, more responsibility, an office with a great view, even a piece of the business. I told him I'd think about it.
Oh, you got my message?
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah, but that might still fit.
Dad could be pretty convincing.
Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic. Oh, by the way, parked in my spot.
Proud to be your bud. Gonna take to the streets and spend some time on the road. I need a truck that'll take me where I wanna go. I need a Dodge, Dodge. Big Magnum engines, don't take them for granted. Overall, the most powerful line of trucks on the planet. That's Dodge. From America's truck stop, Dodge.
From 4x4s to club cabs, from Magnum V8s to the mighty Cummins Turbo Diesel, they're all at America's Truck Stop, your Dodge dealer.
Saturday, June 25th at 7:05, the Braves are in town, and it's the annual Photo Night at the Vet, sponsored by Kodak. Make sure you make plans early to come out. Order your tickets easily by phone. Call 463-1000 or stop by any one of the many local Ticketmaster outlets.
5th inning here at Wrigley Field. Game moving right along after the Phillies had a long first inning. They sent 8 men to the plate and got their 3 runs. They lead it 3-1. Tony Longmire leads it off. He got the first run home today on a sacrifice fly run batted in. Then he struck out second time up, so he's 0 for 1. Getting a shot not only to play in right field today, but occupy the very important number 3 spot in the lineup.
Phillies felt that they got a real indication this spring of what Longmire is going to be able to do in the future. He was one of those players out of options. Had a good spring, made the ball club, and just took the Phillies a little while to get some room cleared on the roster to really give him a more important role on the ball club. But Lee Thomas, Jim Fregosi, the whole squad, they feel like he's one of those players that's going to be around for a while and be a contributor.
Morgan battles back to make it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Longmire followed by Incaviglia and Jordan. Full count. Before today, Tony Longmire had never batted off Mike Morgan. He walked him. Well, that's the 4th walk given up by Morgan. 2 of them came in the first inning.
Phillies have had base runners in each of the last 2 innings, but not getting those base runners until after 2 outs. Now Longmire leads off here in the 5th inning with a walk. Get things started a little early. Give yourself a little more time to work your guys around the bases. Put some more points on the board.
Incaviglia swings through it. Certainly if you're an opposing pitcher, you would rather face Incaviglia with the bases empty because he's always a threat for the long ball, even on a day like this. Pete has a single today and a strikeout, 1 for 2. Morgan gets an 0-2 count on Incaviglia. Incaviglia against Morgan lifetime, 5 hits in 9 at-bats. Ground ball hit to first. Grace had to wait for Dunston to get there, so the return is very late. It's a fielder's choice. Grace came up ready to fire, but Dunston wasn't at the bag yet.
It appeared as if Mark Grace also had a little bit of problem getting the ball out of his glove. He went back in the second time. Just the timing off on that play. Dunston, of course, has to play Incaviglia over toward the hole. Grace double pumps. By the time Dunston gets there, even Incaviglia, with not the greatest of foot speed, easily across the bag. So the timing on that play just got messed up with the double pump by Grace, and then also the fact that Dunston had to play so far off the bag that he was late getting there.
Ricky Jordan, the batter, 1 for 2, RBI single. Ground on the right side. Sandberg tries to play it and can't. Incaviglia stops at second on a single by Jordan, his second of the game.
Well, Incaviglia went first to third the last time on a single by Jordan, and Sammy Sosa hit him in the back of the neck with the throw. This time, Jordan's ground ball just gets underneath the glove of Sandberg. Can't quite get there, but Incaviglia decides, the heck with this. I'm pulling up at second base. He's not nailing me in the back of the head again.
Can't rightly blame him for that.
No, the old laws of survival take over every once in a while. It's not fun getting plunked in the back of the neck with a hard baseball.
2 on with 1 out for Morandini, who has walked and doubled in the ball game today. Look out. Got a couple of American League games going on right now. Milwaukee leading Texas 2-1. They've completed 4 innings today. It's Oakland 4, but Toronto 5. 5-4. They lead in the 8th inning. Here's a ball driven to the gap in left center field. It is caught by Derek May. And there again is a ball that on another day here at Wrigley would have been a 2-run home run, or 3-run home run, I should say. 2 on base.
Mickey, for the second time, hits the ball hard. Just picking. He's got bad climactic conditions today that he's hitting in. He's hitting against the wind. And any other day when the wind's blowing out just a little bit or not blowing at all, Mickey's got 2 of them deep, but May gets the ball right before he catches the ivy in left field. Nothing but a long out.
Todd Pratt has grounded out twice, once to second, once to third. 2 outs in the inning. Phillies at first and second. Morgan falls behind him now. You were pointing out that he did that a lot in the first inning, has not done a great deal of it since.
Slip one in the middle of the plate, about middle half in.
Pratt gets a ball that he lines to Sean Dunston. So the Cubs threw a little leather that inning. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 3-1 Phils.
It is one athletic event where everyone is a winner. The athletes, the families, the volunteers. It is the annual Philadelphia Special Olympics Bay Games, where the joy and courage are painted on the faces and felt in the heart. Join us for special coverage and the uplifting Special Olympics story, Cold Winners, this month exclusively on Sports Channel.
Get ready for a dynamite cable combination, Sports Channel and the Phillies. Join Sports Channel all season long for exciting home team baseball action featuring the National League champion Philadelphia Phillies. The fun starts 30 minutes before game time with the Sports Channel Phillies pregame show. And then it's showtime as Dykstra, Dalton, Kruk, and the rest of the Phillies battle the best of the National League. Join Andy Musser and Kent DeCulvey for all the excitement of Phillies baseball on Sports Channel, bringing you the best in regional sports.
It comes specially equipped with dual airbags, cruise control, air conditioning, 4-speaker AM/FM cassette stereo, and power accessories like luxury sedans costing twice the money. The 1994 Nissan Altima GXE. It not only defines what a luxury car should be, it redefines what a luxury car should cost. Lease the Altima for just $750 down and $229 a month for 36 months.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you in part by Pico Energy. There's a new kind of energy around here, Pico Energy. Your Quality Plus Ford dealers who invite you to test drive the new 1994 Mustang convertible. Nationwide Insurance Enterprise. Nationwide is on your side. Your nationwide agent in Philadelphia is Thomas Gannon Jr. Andy Musser with Kent DeColby. We go to the bottom half of the 5th inning at Wrigley Field. The Phillies lead the game by a 3-1 score. Both teams got their runs in the 1st inning. It's been a pitcher's battle since that point. And here's Sammy Sosa to lead it off. Bosky struck him out first time around. That's a strike. Frank Pulley says he struck at it, bunted at the ball. You can run up as if to bunt and take it if the ball is out of the strike zone, but you must pull the bat back. Strike 2. Frank Pulley given notice. Be ready. Now this is what makes baseball games long. What Sosa's doing right here. He's not happy with those 2 calls, so he's going to stand out behind the box for a while.
Well, breaking ball about a foot outside right now. As frustrated as he should be swinging at it.
I would think.
I'll decide to come inside first. That should be could be a setup pitch for the breaking ball off the plate, driving back away. I mentioned earlier, Sosa not one of the more disciplined hitters in the league.
Ground ball scooped up by Quinlan. He is slick at third. Nice play, Tom Quinlan. Sosa is out, 1 down.
Mentioned going and getting the ball. Quinlan goes and gets this one. Has to play it on the short hop, but plays it very neatly. Once he gets it, has plenty of time to get it across to Jordan. Good defensive players instinctively are aggressive and go to the ball. We saw Quinlan there, even though he knew he was going to get a short hop, just kept on going and went right through the play. Made it very easy.
Rick Wilkins 0 for 1. That was a ground ball to Morandini. Bosky's getting his share of ground balls today. Had a big hopper right back to the mound to end last inning when he turned a double play, or started a double play. That misses. 2 balls and no strikes. I can't believe that we even talked about wearing our short sleeve shirts here today, T. We did discuss it. Thank heavens we were overruled by our common sense. It is downright cold up here.
Yeah, this is not a short sleeve day.
Foul ball into the Phillies bullpen. We have those nice oversized short sleeve shirts that were delivered to us in spring training this year. Actually, they sent too many of them down. One shirt would have fit both of us.
What about our short sleeves? There's no sleeves. That's a brave person right there.
She is, however, sitting in the sunshine. Bouncing ball for Morandini again. Mickey makes the play, and there are 2 outs. Steve Buechele comes up now. That's a little more like it.
Yeah, now. They must be in the shade, right?
Yeah, got it.
They're in the shade. They're in the sun. They've also been having a few beverages. The insulators.
They also got yesterday's newspaper to read the weather forecast, not today's. Buechele was called out on strikes first time around. Well, they say in Chicago, if you don't like the weather, just wait a few minutes. It might change, and that's true when you're close to the lake like this. You do have a great influence off that lake.
Well, I would hope that it's about 85 in 5 minutes then, but I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't believe. But we have had 2 great days here. Monday and Tuesday we did the game in short sleeve shirts, and it was very comfortable here. Ball and 2 strikes on Buechele. Bosky charged only with an unearned run. He's given up just 1 hit. Did he go? No. I didn't think so, and the appeal down to Greg Bonin agrees. Full count on Buechele. Just like you said before, Teak, want to get him here and then start the next inning with Morgan. It makes life so much easier. He got in. Strikeout number 4 for Bosky. And the Cubs go in order for the 3rd time today. At the end of 5, it's 3-1 Phillies.
I see it all out here.
Whoa, check out the Ranger.
Climbers get in trouble. Sometimes they need help. Hey, it can happen to anyone.
Are you okay? You'll have to swing over to me.
For all you do.
Budweiser. Crisp, clean, classic.
Proud to be your bud.
Oh, man. Look what you did.
What I did? Just who do you think you are, man?
Who do you think I am?
Easy, fellas. What would he do?
Oh, the Yellow Pages?
Just any Yellow Pages?
Genuine Yellow Pages.
9 out of 10 use it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
Falling in love again. What am I to do? Whenever I see you, I can't help it. In love again. Oh, what am I to do?
At Pizza Hut, now that any medium specialty pizza is only $7.99 and any second medium just $5, it's a great time to fall in love again with Pizza Hut. You can't help it.
It's time to stop wondering about what it's like to be a big league star and live, learn, laugh, and play at Phillies Dream Week. Hebner, Cash, Wise, Taylor, Boa, Lozinski, and superstars of the past take the field with you. For details on Phillies Dream Week, call 215-938-1200. That's 215-938-1200 to be a part of Phillies Dream Week.
This ball game goes to the 6th inning. The Phillies lead it 3-1. Tom Quinlan is their leadoff hitter here. Quinlan 0 for 2 today on a couple of ground balls, and here's another one for Sandberg. That ball jumped up on Rhino a little bit, but he makes the play, and Quinlan goes on 1 pitch. What about Mike Morgan? Almost out of this ball game. They had Otto up in the bullpen in the 1st inning, and Troublehorn was out at the mound. And this guy has settled down to give the Phillies just 3 hits since the 1st inning.
And 2 of those 3 hits came after 2 outs. Been very effective. All the scoring in this ball game in the 1st inning.
Bosky has grounded out and struck out. Bosky has a major league home run, hit it off Norm Charlton at Cincinnati. Bosky with the Cubs, and Charlton was with the Reds. Mike Morgan's had a lot of difficulties in addition to his arm problems. Both of his parents were ill this year. 3 balls and a strike. Also, I read in the paper where he's been married, I think, 13 years, and his wife is pregnant for the first time, so that's got to be a little strange as well. And he winds up walking Sean Bosky. That's something. His 5th walk. Bosky will put on a warm-up jacket here today, and when he's done with it, I wouldn't mind if he'd send it up here.
Send up a couple of them. Another conversation between Bosky and Mark Grace. Obviously, the two very close when Bosky was with the Cubs.
Lenny Dykstra today has walked, grounded out, and singled. Foul ball. There is bullpen action now. Jose Bautista is up. He was the guy that put a little kerosene on the fire last night. He showed up just in time to give up 3 hits. I think he got only 1 out, and all those guys scored. Back through the middle, but Dunston's there. Gets a high hop, but he safe at first. Ball dropped by Grace. It's a fielder's choice.
Dunston with the great throwing arm, but he got the high hop right on the last hop. The ball hit on the edge of the infield, jumped up on him. He was in great position to make the double play, take it himself, but had to readjust. And we talked about timing before. The throw just a little high and wide. It appears as if Gray Bonet had already called Lenny Dykstra safe before he saw the ball come out of Mark Grace's glove. So Lenny, hustling down the line, beats the throw. And when Sean Dunston unloads the ball, it doesn't take very long for it to get across the infield.
Batter is Mariano Duncan. Well, you know, Dunston was drafted the same year that Doc Gooden, and he was drafted ahead of Gooden, and everybody said, well, sure he was. He has a better arm. Gooden was drafted 5th that year. Dunston was drafted, what, 1st?
I believe he was. I think he was 1st overall by the Cubs.
Yeah, he was. Toronto had the 2nd pick, and they took a shortstop, Augie Schmidt. The 3rd choice went to San Diego, and they picked Jimmy Jones, who wound up doing some pitching. Minnesota had the 4th pick, and they took Brian Olkers, a left-hander who never amounted to much. And then the Mets had the 5th choice, and they took Doc. That was 1982's draft.
Morgan again living on that outside corner to the right-handed hitters. He has got that outside part of the plate wired.
Morgan is due to lead off the bottom half of the inning. That could be the reason they have Bautista up there, and we'll see very shortly. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-1 Phillies.
The Marlins when Florida comes to town. Monday and Tuesday, June 27th and 28th at 7:35. And Wednesday, June 29th at 1:05 for a Give Yourself a Break Business Person special, compliments of Mellon PSFS. It's sun, it's fun. Consider it done. You are going to a Business Person special. Wednesday, June 29th at 1:05. Order your tickets now. Call 463-1000.
Now, over time, cars that can benefit from higher octane can benefit from new Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium gasolines. 2 choices with an advanced system of engine cleaning that works over time for the highest performance, lower emissions, and improved mileage, changing what gasoline can do. New Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium from Texaco. Give us 60 days and watch what can happen.
Freshest potatoes, pure filtered vegetable oil. Hers, it's the way they're made.
Sports interview with Ann LaCourie. This week's guest is going to be John Daly. Next week it's going to be Greg Maddux. Check your local listings. Well, the Chicago Cubs are lifting their starter. Mike Morgan gives way to a pinch hitter here. Kevin Roberson will come in and bat. Morgan did a pretty good job after the 1st inning, but Cubs are going to go to Roberson, who started the year with Iowa and is now up serving as primarily as a pinch hitter for the Cubs. Roberson hitting at .250, a homer, 5 RBIs, 4 for 15 as a pinch hitter, including that home run.
Majority of his pinch hitting duty has come from this left side. 3 for 11 from the left side as a pinch hitter.
Cubs brought him up on May 2nd. He was hitting .313 at Iowa. with 3 homers and 17 RBIs in 19 games with Iowa, the Cubs AAA farm team. Ricky Jordan picks it. Roberson is out, 1 down here in the 6th.
Tom Troublehorn, by using Roberson right here, has used his only left-handed bat on the bench. So all the rest of the players that he has remaining on his bench, all right-handed hitters, which kind of plays a little bit into the Phillies bullpen because of the fact that with Bosque, a right-hander on the mound, and the Phillies stronger, obviously, from the right side in bullpen strength, he will not have the left-handed hitters to counter later in the ballgame.
Tuffy Rhodes has walked and flied to center. He has scored the only Chicago run, an unearned run. Looks like Tuffy is always showing bunt, but we don't see him bunt that much.
He always shows bunt, always shows it on first pitch, just trying to pull the third baseman up. But you're right, I have not seen him put the ball on the ground yet.
1-1. Off the corner, it's 2 balls and a strike on Rhodes. He was hitting .249 at game time. He is the first player in Major League history ever to hit 3 home runs in 3 consecutive bats in an opening day ball game. George Bell, when he played for Toronto, did hit 3 home runs on opening day. Back in April of '88, he hit them against Kansas City, but he did not do them in consecutive bats, and he is the only other player ever to have 3 homers on opening day. Tuffy Rhodes came up through the Houston farm system. He was the Astros 3rd-round draft choice in '86, and he was the Astros opening day right fielder back in 1991. It's low. There's a full count on Rhodes. Carl Tuffy Rhodes. Love that nickname, don't you?
One of the classics.
He's out. Strikeout number 5 for Bosque.
3-2 count. Bosque comes back with the fastball right on the inside corner. Tails back, catches the inside corner. Frank Pulley does the dance. Tuffy Rhodes takes a seat.
Here's Sean Dunston, the Cubs shortstop. He has flied to center and lined to left. Base is empty, 2 out in the 6th. What a job by Bosque. He's given up just the 1 hit. It had nothing to do with the run. The run was acquired in the 1st, unearned. Out of play by Dunston. 0-2.
Bosque with the opportunity for another 1-2-3 inning. Since the 1st inning, the Cubs have sent only 3 men to the plate in each inning. The 3rd inning being the only inning they got the base hit in, and that was erased by the 1-6-3 double play.
Just missed it.
Make that the 4th inning. But since the 1st inning, the Cubs have only sent 3 men to the plate in each of the following innings.
Hard hit ball, but scooped up by Quinlan. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. Cubs go in order, and after 6, they trail the Phillies 3-1.
To play baseball, you need a ball, a bat, 2 teams, 4 bases, and a field. But if you really want to play ball, you need Lenny Dykstra, Darren Dalton, Mariano Duncan, and Danny Jackson. You need the National League champion Philadelphia Phillies. And to get them, you need Prism. Prism plays hardball with exclusive home game action you won't see on any other channel. It's real baseball, Phillies baseball, all summer long on Prism. Don't miss any of the action. Call your cable company and order Prism, the channel that knows how to play ball.
You deserve a break that day. The Phillies meet the Marlins in another fun day midday Mellon PSFS Business Person Special Wednesday, June 29th, 1:05. Go ahead, treat yourself. Order your tickets now. Call 463-1000.
freshest potatoes, pure filtered vegetable oil. Hers, it's the way they're made.
Sunday, June 26th, 1:35. Phillies play the Braves, and it's Photo Pack Day, a great new item for all fans 14 and under. A color photo pack with a team picture and action shots of all the Phillies players. Compliments of Mellon PSFS. Make sure you plan early to come out. Order your tickets easily by phone. Call 463-1000. The new Cubs pitcher is going to be Jose Bautista. He was in the ball game last night for a third of an inning and gave up 3 hits and 2 runs.
Bautista making his 29th appearance of the season. 1 win, 3 losses, a 4.08 earned run average.
Phillies lead it 3-1. Tony Longmire to lead it off. Tony has gotten 1 of the runs in on a sacrifice fly. He has also struck out and walked, so officially 0 for 1 in the game. Since Morgan was pitching so well, Teague, I have to assume that he was taken out of the ball game simply because it was only his second start since the DL and they didn't want to force it.
You would think so. You know, he had recovered nicely after his problems in the first inning. Was throwing the ball well, had good control, command of the outside part of the plate. But when you have a pitcher coming off the injured list, as Tom Troublehorn does have with Morgan, you know, you have to protect him a little bit. You like to see the progress. You like to see him getting back in the groove, but you don't want to, especially with an inflamed elbow, you don't want to keep him out there and extend him beyond and hurt that elbow again.
Longmire chases and strikes out.
So Bautista comes into the ballgame and establishes himself right away with the strikeout.
Well, here's Pete Incaviglia. He's 1 for 3 today with a run scored. Pete was part of that first inning rally with a single, and he later scored on a wild pitch. It was painful for him to make his way around the bases. He got hit in the back of the head, sliding into third on a throw from right fielder Sammy Sosa. Ball and a strike on Inky. Bautista's from the Dominican Republic. He's 29 years of age. First signed by the Mets back in 1981 as a non-drafted free agent. He was only 16 years of age at that point. Spent a couple of years with the Orioles, 1988 through 91, up and down in the Baltimore system. This is his second year with the Cubs.
Bautista with a mixed repertoire. Throws a fastball, a slider, and a curveball, but also has the excellent forkball is what he uses for his out pitch. The now ever popular split finger forkball, fastball, whatever they want to call it, they're all the same. It just depends on how you want to call yours.
Somebody was trying to tell me once that there is a minute difference between them. You don't buy into that, huh?
No, not really. It's basically the same pitch. You may spread your fingers just a shade more on one than the other, but both pitches do exactly the same thing. Come in hard and dive down in the strike zone late.
It's supposed to be a tough pitch on the arm, and of course Roger Craig was a big teacher of it, and the Giants had success with it for a couple of years there, but then they had some physical problems.
Have some physical problems, and there's also a school of thought that guys that are hard throwers, if they start throwing the split finger, will actually lose velocity off of their fastball. So if you have a pitcher that's an overpowering pitcher, yeah, it's a great combination, but after a while you may lose that fastball.
Incaviglia crushes one. It doesn't matter which way the wind's going. That's out on Waveland. Oh, Number 10 for Inky, and the Phillies lead it 4-1. Boy, when he gets a hold of him, look out.
Well, the wind report is that the wind is now blowing directly in Incaviglia's face as he stood at the plate. It didn't matter. Got that ball on the inside part of the plate, got the extension, and drove the ball right on out. You see Wilkins sitting on the outside part of the plate. The ball comes inside, clears everything out onto Waveland Avenue. It doesn't matter how hard the wind's blowing when Incaviglia hits him on the good part of the bat.
Gento has just donated another $200 to the Child Guidance Center. Ricky Jordan is the batter. He's 2 out of 3 today with a pair of singles and 1 run batted in.
And those $200 from Gento, compliments of Mr. Incaviglia.
Look out. So the Phillies, who had a 3-0 lead, have a 3-run lead once again. Philly batters have now hit 1 more home run than the Phillies pitching staff has given up. It's 48-47 in that race. How are the Cubs doing? Well, their batters have hit 53 home runs. Their pitchers have given up 51. Bautista gets Jordan to chase. So he has struck out 2 of the 3 hitters he has faced, but the other one was that long home run. Mickey Morandini now bats. He has walked, doubled, and hit to the warning track and left. Mickey 1 for 2.
Mickey has been affected by the elements today. Incaviglia, it doesn't matter when he connects. Morandini has hit 2 balls that on normal days could have been out of Wrigley Field. Today, no such thing.
And here's a play for Tuffy Rhodes. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. 1 run, 1 hit, nobody left on base. Phillies lead 4-1.
It's like having a Phillies ticket window come right to your home. Call 463-1000 and reserve your tickets in advance. No rushing, no waiting, no hassle. 463-1000. It's like having a Phillies ticket window right in your home.
It's got a new cover, it's got a new name, but on the inside it's exactly the same. It's the real fine, genuine, more choices, gold mine, yellow pages from Bell Atlantic.
Presenting the genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages. Same book, new name. 9 out of 10 use it. The genuine Bell Atlantic Yellow Pages.
Real fine, genuine, more choices, gold mine, yellow pages from Bell Atlantic. Same book, new name.
Retirement? I'm too young to be worried about retiring.
I'm set. I've been socking away a little of my paycheck every month.
The same company for almost 20 years. They'll take care of me.
You bet I got my nest egg covered.
In these uncertain financial times, turn to Nationwide Financial Services for a wide range of investment alternatives, most of which are tax advantaged. Because someday soon, the quality of your life may depend on the quality of your investments.
I'm Dick Vermeil. Antioxidant nutrients fight cancer-causing cell damage. Can you name the best source of these nutrients? Vitamin C and E and beta-carotene. You can get an adequate supply of these nutrients by eating more fruits, vegetables, and whole grain foods.
Phillies baseball day camp for boys and girls 7 to 14 years of age. 15 great locations. Plus, you get a once-in-a-lifetime chance to enjoy a day of fun at the vet. For information, call 215-446-3636. That's 446-3636. Bottom of the 7th. Ryan Sandberg leads it off against Sean Bosky, who has given up 1 hit. Sandberg has the hit. Sandberg grounded out to short in the 1st inning, singled to lead off the 4th inning. But in that inning, there was a double play, so Teak is right. From the first inning on, Bosque has faced the minimum number of hitters, 3 per inning. This game is coming at exactly the right time, too. The Phillies a little short today. We mentioned Larry Anderson is not here, and Paul Quantrill has not arrived as yet. And of course, the bullpen was extended last night when Mike Williams got knocked out in the third.
Three balls and 1 strike on Sandberg. Both Quantrill and Hatcher expected to be here tomorrow, so hopefully Jim Fregoso will have a few more players to work with tomorrow's ball game.
He went full count. And it'll be a night game tomorrow, so there's a good chance they will have time to make it in. Bosque to face the heart of the order here in the 7th. Sandberg, Grace, and May. Sandberg hits one to left field, hits it well, and knocks out on the street. Sandberg with his 5th home run. It's now a 4-2 game.
Bosque runs the count full at 3-2. Sandberg setting on a fastball, gets one up in the strike zone. Look at the extension and how he gets that bat completely through it again. Another one completely over the screen out on Waveland.
Time is called. Pratt's going to go to the mound now, and the Phillies are going to get some bullpen action. Heathcliff Slocum is going to start to throw down there. Another ex-Cub.
We saw in Bosque's last ball game through the first 5 innings against the Astros. He'd only given up a couple hits, and then in the 6th inning he started walking guys. Got a lead finally and started walking a few guys. 7th inning gave up a couple home runs. So this is the time of the game where, you know, when Bosque has started to tire, it's usually the 6th, 7th inning. You know, he did well in the 6th, got through it 1, 2, 3, but Sandberg leads off here with a home run in the 7th.
Falls behind Grace, 3-0. Grace is 0 for 2, reaching on an error, which allowed the Cubs to score their first run unearned, and he flied out to left field.
And these are indicators. Bosque fell behind 3-1 on Sandberg before Sandberg finally got back to a 3-2 count, and then Sandberg hit the home run. Now falls behind 3-0 on Grace. So those are indicators for Jim Fregoso that things are changing just a little bit for Sean Bosque.
And there's a walk. Only the second issued by Bosque. The other was to the leadoff hitter in the first, Rhodes. Derek May is the batter.
Slocum is down in the bullpen firing. He is not taking his time warming up right now. He is getting heated up in a hurry.
May has struck out, grounded into a double play. And Pratt again walks the ball back a bit. Here's Slocum getting ready quickly, as Teak says.
Well, it appears, at least the small time that we've seen Bosque with the Phillies, when he loses it, the control goes in a hurry.
That's in for a strike. 1-1 on May.
Through the first 6 innings of the ball game, Bosque had pretty much been, you know, around the plate, controlling the counts. But all of a sudden here in the 7th inning now, starting to fall behind in counts.
On the ground, may get 2. 1. There's the other one. Oh, that really helps. You talk about it being the pitcher's best friend, especially in the case when he's struggling a little bit.
Struggling and able to get the ball fisted out to Mariano Duncan at shortstop. Once he gets the ball, Dunston got the bad hop. Duncan got the good one, able to easily transfer over to the bag, make the tag himself, and get the throw to first base in plenty of time. So the double play ball does get Bosque at least temporarily out of the jam that he was getting himself into. And a big lift mentally for a pitcher when you can make a pitch, get the ground ball, and get the good results.
It's got to be. Here's Sammy Sosa. He's 0 for 2 today, and Bosque is due to bat third when the Phillies hit in the 8th, and they may just go ahead and lift him for a pinch hitter at that point if they can get him through this inning. He struck out Sosa the first time they matched up today. Bosky has 5 strikeouts. Here's a pop-up's going to end the inning. Ricky Jordan to make the play. Unless Pratt does. No, it's Jordan. Oh boy, that was an adventure. But they completed it, and the inning is over. The home run given up to Sandberg, the only run of the inning. And so at the end of 7, it's 4-2 Phillies.
You can't use a mobile phone to say.
Okay, we're ready to sign a contract.
You can't use a mobile phone to whisper.
Daddy misses you too, sweetheart.
A mobile phone will not let you send.
Here comes the fax.
And it will not let you hear.
The meeting's been changed.
Unless
Hello?
the call goes through. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile.
It's a round world, genuine and true. It keeps on spinning and you always come through. And you're giving it your best. Proud to be your bud. Budweiser. Proud to be your bud. Proud to be your bud. Ooh, yeah. Proud to be your. Proud to be your bud.
I see you bought a new Oldsmobile Sierra Special Edition.
Yeah, just got it.
Did Sierra season have anything to do with this?
It sure helped.
How about the Sierra's anti-lock brakes, air, automatic, stereo, power locks, driver's airbag, 6-passenger seating, and the price? Only $14,195.
That did it.
At $14,195, the old Sierra is the lowest priced mid-size car, period.
Sounds familiar.
Sierra season. Now at your local Olds retailer.
Phillies baseball on Sports Channel is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste. Bell Atlantic Mobile. A mobile phone is only as good as the system it's on. Choose Bell Atlantic Mobile. Looks like the Phillies are planning to pinch hit for Bosky. The Phillies have a 4-2 lead as we move to the 8th, and it's the bottom third of the order with Pratt, Quinlan, and then the pitcher's spot. Well, Pratty today, nothing out of 3, 2 ground balls and a line drive to Dunston. High fly ball, didn't get solid enough contact on that one. Derek May is waiting and he puts it away for the out. Pratt is retired, 1 down. Quinlan will bat. Quinlan 0 for 3, 3 ground balls today.
Good indicator that Bosky will be hit for. His turn to get in the on-deck circle, still sitting with the jacket on the bench.
Jim Eisenreich is out.
Is he going to come out and get himself loosened up?
Hero of last night's ball game. Quinlan sends a ground ball to third. Buechele plays it off the grass. 2 pitches and 2 outs in the 8th inning. And now Eisenreich, who got that single off Randy Myers last night in this inning. It was the top of the 8th when the Phillies won the ball game last night. Eisenreich hitting at .328. No homers, 15 RBIs. And he's changing now. It's not going to be Eisenreich. It's going to be Marsh. He had Eisenreich out there, but with the bases empty and 2 away, going to go to Tom Marsh. Marsh just brought up. He got in the ball game last night as a defensive replacement.
Jim Fregosi electing to keep the veteran Eisenreich on the bench in this situation. 2 outs and nobody on. Possibly later on in the game you'll need a more experienced bat, so he pulls Eisenreich back and sends out Tommy Marsh.
Marsh 1 for 7 as a hitter. I was looking at the record today. Marsh has not played in a game at the Vet yet this year. He's been in let's see, this is his 5th ball game and they've all been on the road.
0 for 2 so far this year as a pinch hitter.
One on Tom. He takes a big rip. Marsh at Scranton Wilkes-Barre was batting .274 over 40 games there. He had 2 homers, 21 RBIs. The Phillies brought him up on the 29th of May. Punch shot. Looper back of Sandberg. He turns and it goes over his head. It looked like Sandberg was in position to play it, but it drops and it's a pinch single for Tom Marsh. A little looper.
Ryne Sandberg, who normally does not get turned around on balls, this time turns one way and then the other way, and by the time he gets back, the ball just beyond the edge of his glove. It appeared as if he started back to play the ball over his left shoulder and then realized that the wind was blowing it back across a little bit, turned around to play it over the right shoulder, by then not able quite to catch up to it.
I think that's what happened. All right, here's Dykstra. That's hit number 8 in the game for the Phillies. Lenny has one of them. He is 1 for 3.
To complicate matters even more, as Sandberg is going back, when he looks back up toward the ball, he's looking back up in the direction of the sun, so he has to find the ball and fight the sun at the same time.
2 hits in 12 at-bats for Dykstra in this Cubs series, which has one more game to go tomorrow night. In the game tomorrow, Danny Jackson for the Phillies, Anthony Young for the Cubs. 1 ball, 1 strike. This will be Bautista's last inning. He is due to bat 3rd in the bottom half of the 8th. Chuck Krim is throwing in the Cub bullpen. Marsh is safe. And the Phillies pitcher in the bottom of the 8th will be Heathcliff Slocum. Three and 1 on Dykstra. Official attendance today, 27,402, the smallest crowd of the series so far. Dykstra, no, that's a walk. Base on balls for Lenny. That's his 43rd free pass, his second of the day. 6 walks chipped in by Cubs pitchers today.
With 2 outs, that moves Tommy Marsh down into scoring position. Obviously much easier to score a run with 2 outs from second base than from first base, so Bautista does the Phillies a favor by walking Dykstra, getting Marsh into the scoring position where he can score on any kind of a base hit by Mariano Duncan. Hopefully so. You have to qualify that a little bit. If that base hit happens to be a line single to right with Sammy Sosa out there in that cannon, could be a play at the plate.
He swung at it. Strike 1 on Duncan. Mariano 1 for 3 today, and it was in the same inning last night that he ripped that 2-run double that tied the ball game. 7-7 at that point after the Phillies had trailed 7-1. Nothing in 2 on Dunk.
Mentioning Sosa in right field and that great arm that he has, it's kind of a good news, bad news situation with him, though. From the Phillies standpoint, yes, he has that great arm, and that is the bad news. The good news is that he's not always real accurate with it. He's liable to throw it anywhere. So with 2 outs, I would expect even on a single to right, Larry Bowa to take a shot to try to score Tommy Marsh. Challenge the arm of Sosa. Of course, Rhodes with just an average arm in center field, May the same in left. Base hits in either one of those directions should score Marsh easily.
Phillies are ahead 4-2. They wouldn't mind seeing that run come back here that they gave up on Sandberg's homer. Twice today the Phillies have led this game by 3. Duncan chases. He strikes out, and that'll end the inning. Strikeout number 3 for Bautista. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. 1 hit, 2 left. Go to the last of the 8th. 4-2 Phillies.
Will you spend your summer with Aunt Matilda, Uncle Clyde, and the kids? Or will you spend your summer with Madonna, Kevin Kline and Sigourney Weaver, Janet Jackson, James Woods and Lou Gossett Jr., Willie the Killer Whale, Mel Gibson, Chuck Norris, Matthew Broderick, and Arnold Schwarzenegger? All summer long, Prism brings Hollywood's hottest stars to your home. So why not enjoy your summer guests for a change? Call your cable company and order Prism today. Great movies, exclusive Phillies baseball, and terrific specials. A lineup you won't see on any other channel. But don't take my word for it. Call your cable company and order Prism today.
It comes specially equipped with dual airbags, cruise control, air conditioning, 4-speaker AM/FM cassette stereo, and power accessories like luxury sedans costing twice the money. The 1994 Nissan Altima GXE. It not only defines what a luxury car should be, it redefines what a luxury car should cost. Lease the Altima for just $750 down and $229 a month for 36 months.
It's hard to top this one. A free cap featuring the championship logo. Compliments of Texaco. For men 15 and over when the Phillies play the Cardinals Sunday, June 12th at 8:05. Call 463-1000.
Atlantic Basketball Association on Sports Channel tonight. The championship game, the Scranton Miners at the Pottsville Stingers. Pottsville is coached by Sonny Hill and features ex-Sixer Ron Anderson. Heathcliff Slocum on for the Phillies now, who lead 4-2. We're in the bottom of the 8th. And it's Rick Wilkins, Steve Buechele, and a pinch hitter for Bautista coming up.
Slocum making his 27th appearance of the season. 4 wins, no losses, 3.03 earned run average. It appears as if Jim Fregosi would like to use the same combination this afternoon that he used last night to finish the ball game. Slocum in the 8th, Jones in the 9th. They got the job done last night. We'll see what happens this afternoon.
Wilkins takes a strike. Today, the Chicago catcher has grounded out twice, both times up there to second base.
Fine outing today by Sean Bosky. 7 innings, gave up only 2 hits, struck out 5, walked 3, 2 runs, only 1 earned. The only earned run, the solo home run by Ryan Sandberg. So a very, very productive afternoon for Sean Bosky in his return to Wrigley Field.
Two-one pitch. Heathcliff Slocum has issued 5 wild pitches so far. Can't wild pitch, of course, when there aren't any runners on base. Walked him. That's not a good start to the 8th inning in a 2-run ball game. Only the 3rd free pass issued by the Phillies today. They did not issue any in last night's ball game. No walks. Only the 2nd time this year that's been so.
Saw Jim Fregosi there on the bench. He's a little shorthanded in the bullpen, as you mentioned. Larry Anderson not here today. Slocum pitched an inning last night. Jones pitched an inning last night. Andy Carter pitched 2 2/3 innings last night. But really not as detrimental as you would think. Only threw 22 pitches in his 2 2/3 innings, so probably would be available to get a hitter out.
Buechele takes it low. Glenn Allen Hill has moved into the on-deck circle to bat for Bautista. Phillies need some outs here. They lead at 4-2, but they've seen such good pitching today, they don't want to see it go to waste now. Slocum has not yet thrown a strike.
Well, you're messing with fire here because you're at the bottom of the Cub order. So if you start walking these guys and letting them get on, as soon as you get a couple runners on base, all of a sudden you're going to be back to the top of the Cub order, and that's where they want to be, not where you want to be.
Pratt calls time. He'll go out and confer at the mound now and try to steady down Slocum, who normally does not have control problems.
No, but he is not even close right now. He's spraying balls all over the place, a lot of them very high. No action as of yet in the Philly bullpen. Johnny Padres looks on.
Strike. So it's 3-1 on Buechele, with Glenn Allen Hill to bat next.
One of the good things, if you can work the count back where you can make Buechele swing the bat and you can get him to hit a ground ball, the Wilkins-Buechele combination, not a whole lot of speed, a good chance for a double play.
Yeah.
But you can't get a double play when you're walking guys, and that's ball 4.
Hill is going back. They're going to send a different pinch hitter up now. Hill had been out, but
you have to think in this situation they're sending a pinch bunter to the plate.
They're sending Sanchez out to run for Buechele at first. Sanchez to be the runner.
Johnny Padres at the mound. He has to get Slocum back in business here. Only thrown 1 strike to the first 2 hitters in this inning, and when you've got a 2-run lead late in the ball game, you do not want to give the opposition free base runners, and that's exactly what Slocum has done to this point. 2 free base runners. The Cubs have not had to do anything at all to earn it.
Toby Borland's going to get up in the bullpen. Jose Hernandez, a reserve infielder, is going to come out and bat, and you're probably right, Tiki. He's up to move these runners along here.
Well, late in the ball game, when you have a team that does not have a whole lot of team speed, put the ball on the ground, getting him into the scoring position, try to eliminate the possibility of a double play. As we mentioned, Tom Troublehorn trying to work around back to the top of his lineup. Tuffy Rhodes is the top of his lineup, and he's in the on-deck circle, so you want to be a little cautious right here and just try to move those runners along. Phillies defensively cheating in, anticipating the bunt.
Hernandez bunts it foul, back to the screen, strike 1. We don't know a lot about him. As I say, he's a reserve infielder. The Cubs acquired him from Cleveland for Heathcliff Slocum. 24 years of age, from Puerto Rico.
First pitch, the Phillies had a defensive play on where Ricky Jordan is charging from first. Tom Quinlan was staying home at third base, so that means that the left side of the infield, the responsibility of Heathcliff Slocum to bounce off the mound and field balls on the left side. At least by the lineup that they're in right now, it appears as if they're staying with the same bunt coverage.
This bunt's in the air. Jordan grabs it. He's out. Hernandez unable to get the job done on a foul bunt. That's a big plus for the Phillies.
Big break for the Phillies. Sanchez drops the end of the bat. You want to always keep the bat above the ball. He drops the end of the bat and gets it below the ball. When you get the bat below the ball goes in the air. Ricky Jordan almost overruns the ball. Wouldn't have hurt it. It would have been in foul territory, but you would have lost the out. But Jordan able to get up in the air on that bad ankle. Phillies now with an out. Double play still in order, but still not out of the woods.
No, that was the first out of the inning. Tuffy Rhodes 0 for 2 plus a walk. Rhodes is not going to be bunting, that's for sure. Seven home runs by Tuffy out of the leadoff spot, 3 of them on opening day. Phillies lead at 4-2 in the 8th. Strike. 1-1 on Tuffy Rhodes. The Cubs with just 2 hits in the ball game, none this inning. These base runners are on via walks.
And as you look down the line this inning, you really want to get Rhodes and Dunston for the last 2 outs of this inning. You don't want to let Ryne Sandberg get to swing the bat this inning. Ever dangerous, and the experienced veteran that he is, you do not want to give him an opportunity.
Tuffy has a big rip, and you'd rather not face Grace this inning either. Those are the big heart of the order hitters for the Cubs. And
well, if you face Grace, that means Sandberg's already done something to you, and you're in real deep doo-doo.
That's right. Rather get them to start the 9th.
He's a nice leadoff hitter in the 9th. Then if he hits another ball out on Waveland, it's only 1 run and doesn't do a whole lot.
Time called. Pratt's going to visit the mound once more here. Heathcliff Slocum walked the first 2 batters he faced.
Middle infielders Mariano Duncan coming into the conversation. Now he's going to go back and talk to Mickey Morandini. That indicates to me that they thought that Wilkins at second base was trying to steal the signs. They may have changed the signs between Slocum and Pratt, letting the middle infielders know what's going on.
Hit his bat twice.
That should be 2 strikes. He should be out of there. No, says Frank Pulley. We will only credit him with 1.
Jim Fregosi, Dennis Menke, John Vukovic, all talking it over here. A chance to win this ball game. The Phillies have played well today and have a 4-2 lead here in the 8th.
Doug Jones has just joined Toby Borland in the Philly bullpen.
He checked, but he checked in time, according to the third base ump, Wally Bell. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's Jonesy. He saved it last night. Is this
Take
a check?
Look right here.
I think it is a check.
I believe so. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch of decision. You do not want to go to 3-2. He doesn't.
He doesn't. Did Pratt hang on?
Foul tip. Foul tip. Pratt could not hold on.
Nope.
So we'll reload and do it again. Duncan back in for another quick conversation with Slocum. The wheels are turning. Rhodes just able to get enough of that pitch to foul it off. Pratt not able to corral it. There isn't really much you can do as a catcher on a foul tip like that. There is no time to adjust. You just have to kind of react and hope it sticks in your glove. That one did not.
Time called. Pratt's going to set a record here for visiting the mound during the same hitter, isn't he?
Well, it appears as if they're convinced that Wilkins is relaying signs from second base. So what you do in a situation like this, if you've changed him once and he's still on top of the signs, or you still think he's got him, take a trip to the mound and tell the pitcher, talk to him between yourselves and figure out exactly what you're going to throw, and don't give any signs.
See if he gives any signs here. Of course, he might give some dummy signs.
Probably he did not change the signs.
Chopper on the right side. Morandini's got it. Over to first for the second out, but the runners move along. So now you're going to face Dunston with the tying runs in scoring position.
The reason I said they probably didn't change the signs or did not talk over the pitch was there was no communication with the middle infielders. So therefore they were just making sure they were on the same page. Now Sean Dunston gets a chance to hit with the tying run on second base. We mentioned earlier Dunston's lack of discipline at the plate. Slocum a little bit wild. Possibility that Dunston may help him out by going out of the strike zone after a bad ball.
Today Dunston has flied to center, a line to left, grounded to third. Strike.
Good fastball at the knees. Out ahead in the count. Dunston has the tendency to panic once he gets behind in the count. Todd Pratt, of course, if you do throw a ball in the dirt, his job is to block it and make sure it does not get through to the backstop.
Close. 1 ball, 1 strike. There are no hits in this inning for the Cubs, but they're threatening nonetheless. The inning was really helped along from the Phillies' point of view by that bunt attempt by Hernandez, which was popped up. Fouled away, and so that's the second strike now on Dunston. 1-2 the count. Will he panic?
Pratt's going to the mound. Again, he and Slocum. I would imagine that what he's saying is, let's get one of those breaking balls away from Dunston, down and out of the strike zone. You get it out there, I'll block it. Make sure you get it down and away. At least that would be my thinking at this point in time. give him an opportunity to get himself out.
Like Bosky, Slocum is in a situation so familiar to him, being on this mound here at Wrigley Field in a day game. Fouled away.
Went with the fastball and did not get it out of the strike zone. Very hittable pitch. Dunston fouls it back.
One final from today. Oakland defeated Toronto 9-5. Second final, Minnesota over Seattle 2-1.
See that ball tailing back into the middle part of the strike zone. Pratt setting up down and away. There come times in the ball game when you have to make a pitch as a pitcher. This is one of them. There's the breaking ball down and out of the strike zone. Dunston just able to get the end of the bat on the ball and foul it off.
One other score for you. Milwaukee 5, Texas 1. And that game is in the bottom of the 8th.
You've got Dunston swinging the bat. Keep moving the ball farther down and farther away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Counts in the pitcher's favor. And it comes back in the middle of the plate again. Dunston again fouls it off. When you get a guy like Dunston who likes to swing the bat, when you get him swinging, he will swing at almost anything. Couple options. You can either go down and away with that breaking ball as we've been talking about. You can also go up high out of the strike zone, up by his eyes. You just want to stay out of that middle part of the plate.
Ground ball to third. Quinlan's got it. There was a bad hop, but he got it and throws him out to end the inning. Oh, baby. Nice play by Quinlan. No runs, no hits. They leave 2, and we're going to the 9th. 4-2 Phillies.
Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave all worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream.
Hey guys, on me. Boy, better than the Holyfield, some nice guy.
Yeah, a real humanitarian.
I finally made it to the big leagues. And my first game, we get the call. And I'm thinking, how lucky can a guy get?
Beechwood aged for that fresh, distinctive taste. Crisp, clean, classic.
Gonna take to the streets and spend some time on the road. I need a truck that'll take me where I wanna go. I need a Dodge, Dodge. Big Magnum engines, don't take them for granted. Overall, the most powerful line of trucks on the planet. That's Dodge. From America's truck stop, Dodge.
From 4x4s to club cabs, from Magnum V8s to the mighty Cummins Turbo Diesel, they're all at America's Truck Stop, your Dodge dealer.
Phillies lead the ball game by a 4-2 score. Travel arranged through U.S. Air, offering convenient nonstops between Philadelphia and Seattle, making business travel easy. U.S. Air begins with you. Well, the Cubs are changing things as we go here to the 9th inning. Sanchez remains in the ball game. He'll be at shortstop now. Jose Hernandez remains in. He'll play at third base. And the new pitcher is right-hander Chuck Krim, who pitched the 9th inning last night. Krim, previous experience with Milwaukee, is 2-0 this year with the Cubs and a 1.48 earned run average. Krim will face Tony Longmire. Gets it over for a strike. Longmire is 0 for 2, plus a sacrifice fly run batted in and a walk. High chop off the plate. Sanchez makes the play. Longmire is out, 1 down in the top of the 9th. And Pete Incaviglia coming up. He gave the Phillies their 4th run on a long home run in the 7th inning.
As part of the ball game, 2-run lead heading into the 9th inning. Anything that the Phillies can tack on, a big bonus. Mentioned Doug Jones was up throwing for the Phillies last inning. He continues to throw in the Philly bullpen. Expect to see him pitching the 9th inning. Krim falls behind Incaviglia, 2 balls and no strikes. Pete can look for something hard and on the inside part of the plate.
But no.
Goes with the breaking ball and ends up going 3-0.
All the while, Doug Jones loosening in the Phillies bullpen to pitch the bottom half.
Do not be surprised to see Incaviglia have the green light right here. If Krim slips something in there that he likes to hit, try to pick up that quick run.
There it is, but he popped him up. Mark Grace scattering the umpire and the first base coach, and he grabs it right at the railing. Nice play by Grace. Familiar with the terrain around here, and he was able to go over and make that play.
It appeared as if when the ball first went up, Mark Grace didn't see it, looked up into the sun, but then was able to recover in time and make a nice play right over by the railing in front of the Philly dugout.
Now Ricky Jordan. Ricky's 2 out of 4 today, 2 singles and 1 run batted in. The other 2 times he struck out. Bases empty, 2 out, top of the 9th.
Field down to first base, no swing. 1 ball and no strikes.
Ball hit to deep center. Rhodes back. Has room to make it on the warning track. You're watching Phillies baseball on Sports Channel. For the bottom half of the 9th, and the Phillies lead 4-2.
Get ready for a dynamite cable combination, Sports Channel and the Phillies. Join Sports Channel all season long for exciting home team baseball action featuring the National League champion Philadelphia Phillies. The fun starts 30 minutes before game time with the Sports Channel Phillies pregame show. And then it's showtime as Dykstra, Dalton, Kruk, and the rest of the Phillies battle the best of the National League. Join Andy Musser and Kent DeCulty for all the excitement of Phillies baseball on Sports Channel, bringing you the best in regional sports.
Hi, I'm Ann Liguori. Join me each week on Sharp Sports Interview as I sit down with some of the top personalities in sports. From doctors and bakers, big home run makers, to the Big O, Flojo, Expo. It's a show for the whole family, both the young and the young at heart. So if you're looking for the biggest, the greatest, kings of sports, join me, Ann Liguori, each week on Sharp Sports Interview.
Cars designed to perform better with higher octane gasoline. Texaco now gives you new Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium, both with an advanced system of engine cleaning designed to work overtime for the highest performance, lower emissions, and improved mileage. Changing what gasoline can do. New Clean System 3 Power Plus and Power Premium from Texaco. Give us 60 days and watch what can happen.
Mark your calendar for the ever-popular Photo Night, courtesy of Kodak, when the Phillies battle the Braves, Saturday, June 25th at 7:05. Got the picture? For tickets, call 463-1000.
Bottom of the 9th, Milt Thompson moves in to play left field for defensive purposes for the Phillies, and the new pitcher is Doug Jones. They'll flip in the batting order. Phillies take a 4-2 lead to the bottom of the 9th.
Jones making his 24th appearance in the season, 2 wins, 1 loss, a .242 earned run average. He possesses 11 of the 12 saves that the Philly Ball Club has this year.
Sandberg, the first to greet him. Rhino 2 out of 3 today, single and home run. And a fastball. It's in for a strike. Jones in to save last night's ball game. Gave up one hit. That was a single by Tuffy Rhodes. Sandberg chases a pitch. No balls and 2 strikes on Rhino. He'll be followed by Grace and then by May. Popped him up. Right field. Play for Longmire. Look out! Look out! He makes the catch! Oh, he caught it! What a recovery by Longmire.
I mentioned on the fly ball, the pop fly that Mark Grace caught, that he had a little trouble with the sun, and immediately Longmire kind of the same thing. Once he gets it, all of a sudden now the wind catches hold of it, takes it away from him. Tony does a nice job with that good speed of being able to get over there and make a diving catch out of a very high fly ball in short right field.
How about when he looked away from the ball, you thought there's no chance to pick it up again, but he did.
Well, when he looked away, he was looking to see if Mickey Morandini was coming out there, realized that Morandini was nowhere in sight. The play was all his, and he did an outstanding job of getting there and getting to the ball.
Mark Grace fouls back the first pitch. Grace is 0 for 2 plus a walk. 2-run lead with 2 outs to go. Grace, base hit. Cubs will get the tying run to the plate on a single by Grace. Only the 3rd hit of this ball game for Chicago.
Off-speed pitch by Doug Jones. Mark Grace able to just stay back. Didn't hit it very hard, but able to lob it over the infield.
Derek May coming up. He is 0 for 3 today. It's been a tough day for May. He has struck out and twice grounded into double plays. Here's a ground ball. Take the out at first here. 2 down in the inning with Grace advancing. That was not a double play ground ball, obviously.
Not hit sharply enough to Mickey Morandini, so instead of trying to take the tough out at second base, goes ahead and gets the sure out at first base. Mark Grace really not all that important in the scheme of things. So make sure that you get 1 out. Don't give the Cubs an extra out in this inning. Nice play by Morandini.
It was. Here's Sammy Sosa has struck out, grounded out, and fouled out. Sosa, of course, has home run power. 13 home runs. 2 of them last night. He's up among the league leaders in home runs, and he'll be going for the pump here. Inside, ball 1 to Sammy Sosa.
Phillies playing deep all the way around in the outfield. See the Philly outfielders well back, respecting Sosa's power.
Outside, 2-0.
The reason you play deep is you're not worried about throwing Grace out at the plate. What you want to do if Sosa does get a base hit is to be able to cut the ball off and keep him at first base with 2 outs. Do not let him get a double. So you play deep, keep the ball from going over your head. Try to cover as much of that outfield territory as you can.
Oh, Sosa chased a bad pitch. Tried to double pump on it, but he couldn't. Watch this.
This is a changeup from Doug Jones. We talked about the aggressiveness of Sosa. Ball actually dips down and out of the strike zone. 2 balls and no strikes. Swings at a bad pitch. Trying to launch one out of here. So Jones able to take advantage of the aggressiveness of Sosa.
Same spot, but it missed. It's 3-1 now. Well, you either call it the aggressiveness or the greed. The on-deck hitter is Rick Wilkins. Cubs down to their last out. They trail at 4-2, but that's the tying run standing at the plate. Scooped up by Quinlan, makes the play. This ball game belongs to the Phillies. Doug Jones gets him out in the 9th inning. And Doug Jones has saved back-to-back games in the series, and the Phillies lead this series 2-1. You're watching Phillies baseball on